120 years ago, and you came here today to celebrate the laying of the cornerstone of the new courthouse on July 3. It's a day with intense heat. You didn't fly here because the Wright brothers had not yet flown in Kitty Hawk. You didn't drive here, there were no cars. There was a watering trough over here on the southwest corner of the square, and horses were jostling for a refreshing drink of water. Judge George Beeman of the Stark Circuit Court spoke that day, and later a hot air balloon glided over the courthouse. And bands played, and there was plenty of food to eat. They were celebrating the most impressive building in the county, one which held its own against any other courthouse in Indiana. It made the people of Stark County proud, and you should feel the same way today. The local newspaper called it the greatest day in the history of Knox. Stark County, Indiana, is in the heart of America. And in America, we have a government of the people. The supreme power lies with the people, who exercise it directly or through their elected representatives. We choose to live under the rule of law, not the rule of might. The courthouse is the house of the people. I can think of no better example than when a person is charged with a crime and we have a trial by jury. We call American citizens who live in Stark County to come to the courthouse. The government presents its evidence. But it's the people who have the power to decide and make the final decision as to whether a person committed a crime or not. It's in the courthouse where we resolve our conflicts peacefully. Inside this building behind me, some of the most important moments of people's lives have taken place. The best day of some people's lives and the worst day of other people's lives have occurred right here. People have cried tears of joy and tears of sadness. People have lost their freedom. People have gained their freedom. People have been joined together in marriage, and marriages have been dissolved. Families have been created through adoptions. It's the courthouse where everyone is to be treated the same. Nobody is too big and powerful not to be knocked down. Nobody is too weak and powerless not to be lifted up. Let me take you back to 1897 when a wooden courthouse stood on this very spot. At that time, some considered it to be a fire trap. Commissioners William Collins, William Miller, and Fred Bergen were convinced of the need to build a fireproof courthouse for county government. It was going to cost $130,000. Farmers thought that was too expensive. But remember, these are farmers without tractors, because the first tractor hadn't been invented yet. They didn't put in air conditioners because that hadn't been invented. They couldn't keep records with a ballpoint pen because that came 37 years later. And you couldn't tell the judge you were late to court because the traffic signal was broken, because they didn't exist until 1923. When the commissioners decided to spend $130,000 on the courthouse, they needed to design and build one to last a long time. They built a 138-foot tall building with enough skill, wisdom, and foresight that this building has stood through 120 winters, tornadoes, and lightning strikes. And here we are, still using it 120 years later, newly remodeled with no end in sight. And we are still using, right now on the third floor, the original bench, the original judge's chair, and the original clock on the wall. And inside this building, the production of government documents has progressed from the fountain pen to totally paperless in 2017. In order to understand the degree of forward thinking needed by the commissioners in 1897, I've called upon two local actors, Sean Matrow of Community Corrections, Chuck Phillips of the Probation Department, to portray what a conversation might be like between Commissioner Fred Gerben of 1897 and Commissioner Donnie Binkley of 2017. By judicial decree, I've been able to bring these two commissioners together for our open house today. Commissioners, would you come on up here, please?